I'm going to be calling this video Where the Mind Goes, Energy Flows, because there's things going on right now and people need to understand that their energy is going somewhere. It's being harvested in some way. It's going somewhere for a reason. They're being made to feel like this. And from what I can see, it's only online. Okay, so I hold down a job. I have quite a normal life. I go out there into the real world. I've got rather a special job and I'm quite blessed. But out there, out there, people have just taken on certain stories and then they just move on. We call them the sheeple. But these people, you can say, although the sheeple are quiet about certain things and they get on, they're just watching their TV, whatever they're doing, certain energies are not being harvested from those sort of people, because they'll just hear something and move on. They just move on very quickly with their lives, selfies and Facebook, EastEnders, and those type of people that stay away from world sort of dramas, right? Then you've got the other kind of people who are sitting online. They're doing their Facebook posts. They're activists. They're whatever you want to call them. They're just average people as well who are thinking critically, but they are getting stuck in this trap where they're being orchestrated to think a certain way and go down different channels so that the mind goes to a certain place and so the energy flows. You can argue all day about what happened in New Zealand. You can argue all day about what happened in places like Sandy Hook. You can argue all day about what happened on September the 11th. All day we could argue about these things. We can argue all day about what happened here for 7/7 with the bombings and the tube. We can argue all day about the facts of these issues. But the fact is that these events did happen. They took place. They were done in whichever way, whatever label you want to put on these events. They are orchestrated by the government, black ops, whatever you want to call it. We know this happens, okay? We're aware of this. So therefore, when something happens, if you sit there breaking down these events and you're just looking into it and all you want to do is break down every fact about this event and just get your pin out and you're going through your haystack, you're looking for your pins and you're trying to be the one that's going to prove all this to the world and break it down, and you were the great mind and the great detective that did all this. Do you know what? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. Your energy is flowing to only God knows where, and it's being harvested. Because I'm telling you, this stuff is only happening to certain people online, YouTube and probably Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but I see it on YouTube. Okay, I don't look at lots of other sites. I don't read lots of other things. I like to keep my mind open and pure and clear, so I don't like to take a lot of crap in. Okay. And I certainly don't like to just concentrate on every little detail about any false flag or anything that comes along. It's just a waste of time. Okay, it's just a waste of time. Laws have been passed to say they can use propaganda against their people, so we know it's all done. Why waste your time on it? Why waste your time on it? How are you supposed to get to know yourself and who you are and your own power if all you're doing is sitting there going through with a fine toothpick, and you're going through all these little details, you're going through all this stuff, trying to be the one? Your energy is really being harvested. I really want people to understand this and get to know this, okay? Where the mind goes, energy flows. Think about that. So if your mind is constantly trapped up, right, and constantly thinking about all these things that happen and what's just happened, say for instance in New Zealand, you're constantly thinking about this, where's your energy going? Where's the energy for you? Okay, so if it's all going, what do you keep for yourself? What do you keep for yourself mentally? What's going on if you're just constantly thinking this way? It's like, we know it happens, we know it's them, it's just to change laws, blah, 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 take freedoms away from people, and that's why these things happen. There are a lot more important things that you need to be putting your energy towards and your mind towards, okay? Things that are real, are happening. People being sent to court for trying to cure people using natural methods. That's happening, okay? You've got people here in the UK. There's a woman who called a transgender a man. The police went round to her house and arrested her, held her for 72 hours. Yeah, there's things going on that we need to be more aware of. 5G may be coming. What are the health risks with 5G? I think that's more important than putting all your energy into another false flag or whatever it is you want to fucking label it. Whatever you label it, it's happened, and we know how it's happened, and we know it's been orchestrated. Move the fuck on. Yeah, you're going to waste even more time looking at this new thing. We haven't even figured out what happened in with the Twin Towers. You know, we haven't finished with that one yet. Still arguing over that fucking shit. Sorry, I keep swearing. I'm really sorry. I'm quite pissed off. Still arguing over that. There's all this argument going on online. There's people patronising other people who are thinking. There's bigger channels who are putting down smaller channels, and people who are learning stuff and just trying to ask questions. And it's ridiculous. But just remember, peeps, where the mind goes, energy flows. So be mindful of what you're thinking about. Okay? And if you're thinking of good things and trying to be positive, your energy is going to a good source, and you're creating that for yourself, not thinking about and breaking down all this shit that has been given to you to do exactly that to take your time, waste your time. You will never get to know the self if you keep doing these things. And I learned that a long time ago. Anything that happens, I'm like, yeah, we know, move on. Yeah, that's how you deal with it. Don't sit there going through every little detail till it's driving you insane, because your ego is telling you you have to be the one that proves this to the whole world. I'm going to risk everything now and prove this to the whole world. It's ego based, but it's wasting time as well, because we all know what's going on. Yeah, so where the mind goes, energy flows.